Can anyone hear me? All right, let me know if anyone can hear me. Let's see. All right, cool. Y'all can hear me. Okay, so good. Right now I'm on my phone checking the chat on my phone because I had to restart my computer. Even in the system preferences, the microphone was set for some reason to an external source, even though I didn't have one plugged in. So I'm just waiting for everything to start back up, including the control room on my computer, so I can see the chat on my screen and I can see the stats for the stream. So let me get that running now. Hopefully everything's just really slow right now, but it looks like the stream quality is okay, so I can deal with the slowness. So anyway, what I was trying to say before you all let me know that you couldn't hear anything was that we were going to do some unit testing today. So we started last week on Thursday with doing some unit testing, and we were just going to continue on with that. So we had a pull request from Niki. It may have been later on Thursday, actually, or maybe Friday, that did some more stuff that fixed some of the issues that we were having. So if you're interested, check that out. It'll be the last pull request that was merged, and you see everything that had changed. And he in the comments for that pull request, he kind of explains, what he's doing. Let's see. Okay, I have my stream control room back up. Let me get my chat going. And then we'll be ready to get going. We're ready to get started. Sorry about all that. I thought finally I would have a live stream from home without any issues. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe we'll finally get it tomorrow. Okay. I'm just going to scroll up quickly and see what I missed while I was kind of switching back and forth in the chat. Okay. Looks like everything was related to the stream being messed up. All right. So everything looks okay. I have, for some reason, I have that little like spinning rainbow wheel on one of my screens right now, and it won't go away. I I don't know what's up with that, but everything else seems to be working fine. So we're gonna get started. And let me switch so y'all can see what I have on the screen. And let me know if that font size is big enough for you all. Actually, I need to move this monitor. Okay. So let's see what's. So first, I'll just show you an example of what's changed, and then we'll just go. We'll just get right to it and start doing some unit tests on some of the other components. Amara says, "Hello, Jesse. You're a great teacher. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks." Okay, so we do need to increase the font size. All right, let me do that. Okay, I think this is about as big as I can go without it being like kind of like too big, like without it getting ridiculous. I'm gonna start. I want to start this as well. It turned off because I restarted everything. All right. Okay, so before we were doing the shallow render method, and now we're just doing the regular render. So you see, really, we changed here and here from shallow to render, and that's given us a different snapshot. So let's check out that snapshot over here. So in our tests folder, we now have a snapshots folder, and these snapshots get automatically created whenever we run yarn unit, because we're just doing the unit test now, so we're not worried about the end-to-end test yet. So now you can see what we get here. We actually get a lot. I mean, this is the home page. There's a lot on there. But it gives us all the markup that gets rendered from our index. So let's see. Here's our index .js component. So we have a lot here. And some of it, I think if we're find an example. Yeah, so some of it we have like this card media, but now we see, that we actually have all that rendered out. And so instead of just seeing card media with these props, we see what it would render, what it would be rendered as. So anyway, that's the difference from what we had before. And let's go into, I think the last thing that we were working on the last stream was we were doing some tests for this text section, and we had this this text, and let's see what we ended up getting. So let's close this out, and let's check out our. Whoops! I forgot to set my timer. So let me do that. Let me move it over here. Okay. There's our Pomodoro timer. If you haven't watched before, we time things. We do 25 minutes of code, and then we take a 5-minute break. I go back to the live chat, answer questions. Oops. Yeah, I was going to open this up. Let's open this up. Whoa, we have quite a lot here. Why do we have so much? Okay, yeah, this this was where we left off. Now I remember. I tried to watch some of the stream um, from last week just to jog my memory since it's been so long. But I didn't get through all of it. So I think this is where we left off, is that we were trying to pass in text as a prop, and we had expected to see it rendered out, uh, within as the text of the component, but it wasn't. Um, we were seeing it still as a prop. Okay, finally. Okay, here we are. So we finally get to it down here. This is what I wanted to see here. So at some point, we see what it gets rendered as. So good. All right, so that passes. So I'm not sure why. I mean, maybe it's rendering it two different ways. Did I miss something? Okay, so we do have two times we're having it match the snapshot, right? Yeah. Okay, so here. Okay, yeah. So here we're just saying it should render, um, and we wanted it to match the snapshot. Here we want it to render text. Okay. All right. So that definitely explains. And I'm pretty sure we talked about this last time. So sorry that I'm repeating myself here. Okay. But that works then. So we just have to remember that I gotta go down to the bottom to actually see what what's getting rendered. All right. So it's from what I saw with the short amount of time that I spent researching unit testing, and this was last week. So basically, between last week when we ended the stream and now, I haven't really done any research with unit testing. So I had the day off Friday. I had the day off yesterday. So I wasn't working on work stuff. So I did do some coding, but it was on other projects, just side projects. So let's try to do some more tests for each of the props. So I guess it would be a good idea to actually look at this component. Let's see, where are we at? Text section. Components. Nope, not that one. Text section. Okay. So we can pass in title, text, link, button text, text color, background color, border color. Okay, let's. I'm not exactly sure how we would test the color, but we can definitely test some of this other stuff. Yeah, we'll see if they catch the color. So anyway, from what I studied. Sorry, I started a thought earlier and I just didn't finish it. Is that you should have separate it statements for each prop. So you shouldn't try to test all the props all at once, right? It may take up a lot less space, but I mean, think about it. I try to test all the props at once. I still then have to go through and try to figure out, okay, well, which prop failed? So it should be better to do it like this. If anybody has experience with this and thinks that that's not a good way to do it, let me know, Because like I said, the last time I even checked this was last week, so my memory is not like really great about it. Michael asked if I was working on my zombie this weekend. Sorry for the yawn. I was up. Uh, the baby was sick, and so I was up with her. So I'm a little bit tired. Yeah, so the crypto zombies tutorial on building things for the blockchain, the Ethereum blockchain, with a language called Solidity. Yeah, so I did work on that. So they keep adding lessons, but so right now I've run out of lessons. But yeah, I worked on that a little bit. I worked on that brainwave headset thing a little bit. I had a video call with Alex Castillo, who's very generously offering his help with it. So we were able to connect the headset that reads the brainwaves to via Bluetooth directly to a browser. So that was pretty cool. That was some good progress. And then I also did some work on the JavaScript AF project. You can check out the repo for that in my um, my GitHub profile. All right, so let's say it should render text when pass, render, I don't know, a title when passed in. So we can just change this to section title. And let's pass in, I guess we could do test title. And there we go. Let's save that. Why am I getting a green line? Okay, the corresponding snapshot doesn't exist yet. All right, that's fine. So let's run yarn unit, and if you're using npm and doing this, you could just do npm unit or npm run unit. But we're using yarn, so we should see a difference in our snapshot. So we should see a change here, hopefully. Okay, cool. So we can see the color changed, and did it pass? We're still waiting on the index. All right, the index passed. Wow, that took a long time. You know what? I think the tests are taking longer because I have OBS running, so that makes more sense. So normally a unit test would not take that long, but let's check out that section here, and we'll scroll all the way down, since that would have been, let's see, test. I guess not. Why is that not the last one? All right, let's just find. So that's a lot to go through. Let's find test title. Okay, so let's see where it's at. Section title, test title. All right, there we go. So here we actually have it rendered where it ought to be rendered inside this H1. All right, cool. That works. I'm not really sure what's up with the order. I would have thought that it would have been down lower, but all right, not bad. Okay, so I guess you can see, we can test that props get properly rendered by the components. So like why, just for those of you who are wondering about testing, like if you haven't done testing, you're wondering like, why does this even matter? This seems silly. It seems kind of weird. Like, okay, this is pretty simple. These props were rendered, but the part of the point of it is, if I or someone else working on the project went into this component where do we have it? Somewhere here. Text section .js, which I can't even find. So let me open that component again. So if we went to text section.js, you know what? I think I have it over here. I did have it over here. And we changed something in here, right? We would change this. If we changed it and somehow it didn't render props properly anymore, there could be a lot of other places in our app where we're using that component and we're passing in props and we expect it to do a certain thing. And because of a change, we may have inadvertently caused some of these props to not render the right way or not render at all. And with a test, we'll catch that automatically. So you wouldn't have to go through every instance of where that's used. So like right now, this is still somewhat manageable. Like potentially you could go through everywhere where we use that. But in a bigger app, that would be insane. Every time you make a change to actually go through all the pages where that's used and make sure it renders properly. And eventually this is going to be really huge. We're going to have a lot of data there and we're going to be using more components. Like right now, I don't want to explain all what we're doing right now with data, but right now we're not using a lot of components. At some point when we get all the data structured like we want, we will be using more components. So literally you would have to check, if you wanted to be sure that everything was rendering properly, you would have to check in potentially like hundreds of pages. So you definitely, you don't want to have to do that. So this is a way to just put in some sample data, make sure it all renders properly. Also, these tests will run not only locally, but they'll run in the on GitHub in the repo with Travis. But anyway, so let me know if anyone has any more questions about testing or like anything in general about testing. I'm not an expert, but maybe I could offer some advice from the little that I know, or someone else in the chat can offer something. Okay, so now that we have the rationale for why we're doing this, let's just finish this out. Actually, you know what I do want to test? Since I don't know how it'll work out, I want to test this one of these colors, right? So all the rest of these are going to be basically adding an element or adding text within an element. But these three down here are going to be dealing with colors. Okay, so let's grab text color. Whoops, I didn't want to grab the whole thing. Text color, and did I make another one? I didn't. I meant to copy that. I totally forgot. Okay, so let's pass in then text color. And this is going to be really interesting, because if we don't pass in text, would text color even matter? I'm interested to see how this would work. Like, do we need to pass in both? So let's just give it a value. I guess we can give it a value of black. I don't think we're actually using black, so we shouldn't get like a false positive. So let me save that, and let's run this. Okay, so while that runs, I'm going to try to keep looking back at the chat. Oh wow, that was a lot faster. That took about half the time. All right, cool. So it looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it passed. Why? That's kind of weird. We kept having index.test just like keep popping up. Okay, so let's look at this again, and let's see. Let's search for that. There we go. So there we have our text color, and let's see. Okay, so in our, or it actually renders out what the style would be. So that's interesting. So we have that style here, and what is this? Headline. Let's see where else it is. Okay, wow. So it did. It went on that H1, even though there's no text for that H1. Interesting. All right, so it looks like we can test styles, which is, I mean, that's great. The more we can test, the better. Let's see. I'd like to see the component because it does seem like we're still getting things rendering when we don't even have that value. Really sorry about all the yawning. So let's look back at our component then. I wonder how I built this. I thought I built this so that it wouldn't even attempt to display this. Let's see. Button. No, I don't need the button. Okay, so where's our... Oh, okay, here's the title. Alright, so I did build it. I guess I was mistaken. I thought I had built it so that it would only render this if there were a section title. And I guess I did not. Okay, I did do the button that way. So that makes more sense. So you can see I have the button here as a constant. And this renders based on that. So it makes a lot more sense, I think, to do it like that. Okay. I really kind of want to pull this out now and refactor this, but we're doing testing right now, so let's not do that. All right, so let me know in the chat if you want me to just finish this out to do like to test all the props, or we can just move on. Excuse me. All right, we can see. I'd like to try to get a component that kind of does more, but I'm not exactly sure that we have that. Text section. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do our drawer, because we have, let's check out drawer item for a second. Drawer item, and we on click. Okay, so we have on clicks happening here within our drawer item. So I really want to test that. So with Jest, we can test a user action. So we can simulate a user clicking and then make sure that something that what's supposed to happen actually happens when a user clicks. So that's kind of the last thing that I definitely want to show on a stream, because so basically we've gone over like what, like three things. So does the component render, like, period? Does anything appear? Okay, so that's the first test. The second thing was, if you give it props, does it do the right thing with those props? Okay, so we've tested those two things and they worked. And then now the third thing is, based on a user action, does the right thing happen? So if we cover those three things, I think we're pretty good. I'm sure there's probably a lot more to unit testing, but in terms of this project, that's probably going to cover the majority of the tests that we write. And then between last stream and this stream, hopefully you'll have enough info to write your own unit tests. And if you want to contribute to this project with writing unit tests, you'll have an example of how to write tests for any of the components. All right, so let's check out. Let me go on my other screen, and I want to check out the click event. So I'm going to go to the Enzyme docs on GitHub, and that is, let me paste this in the chat for you all. If for some reason you can't get this link in the chat, it's really easy. github.com/airbnb/enzyme. Okay, so now I'm skipping down to a section that uses click handling. Well, we're gonna have to copy. Let's copy what we have for, I guess, text section. Yeah, let's do text section. Let me check at bar as well. See what we're doing. I guess we can copy this component, and let's add a file here in test, and this will be drawer item dot test dot js. There we are, and we're going to paste that in, and let's take, oops, and I should have changed it here as well. Okay, so we're not going to have the same things coming in, like the same props for drawer item, but we will have some that should be the same. So we could, kind of put in like primary text, and let's see, we could do is open, expand items, submenu items. Yeah, these submenu items are going to be, what, an array? Yeah, we're going to have to pass in an array, aren't we? And that array is going to need to have things as well. You know what, we already have these arrays made. Let's just grab it from our data. Where's our data? Drawer menu. So in our drawer menu, we can just grab a few of these. So let's just grab 2. And then this will give us some good test data. Let's get our actual component back to, so we can look at it. Where are we at? Drawer item. Okay, so within here, we can say, oops, where are we at? Submenu items. Oops, submenu items, and we should be able to just give it this. Well, let me double check. Was it that, or we need? No, we don't want just an object. We want an array, right? We want an array of objects. Okay. And why is this expression expected? Oh, okay. Is that better? No. Okay. What did I do wrong? That's a little weird. I think, yeah, my timer went off. All right, let me take a short break and go back to the live chat here. Phoenix says the link has a 404 error. Try to copy and paste the link. For some reason, clicking on links in the chat, it doesn't work sometimes. Ooh, also, check before I forget, check out this shirt. So says it's Ajax and it says YOLO, and it's probably really hard to read, but it says you only load once. I think it's funny. I got this at SyntaxCon a couple of years ago, and there was a speaker, Ben Elegbadu from Eventbrite, was giving out T-shirts, and so I got this one. So if you know anything about like jQuery Ajax, you can get data like how we use fetch normally. Like before fetch, you could have used Ajax. You could still use Ajax if you already have jQuery loading. But the idea is you can get new data in or send data out without having to load the page. Normally a form submission would reload the page. Well, with Ajax it doesn't. So I thought it was kind of clever. That is one cool thing about streaming from home. I can wear coding T-shirts when I stream. I don't have to wear a button-down shirt or anything like that. All right, so I'm trying to find a question. Let's see. Mom Demba. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Says, "Hello, help me. I'm a beginner in programming." Okay, I mean, let me know if you have any specific questions. I'd be happy to help. Just let me know. Eddie asks if anyone uses WebStorm. Is it worth the $10 a month, or should I just use VS Code? Um, I don't know that much about WebStorm, so I don't know what it does that Visual Studio Code can't do. I would just check out the features. If the features that it has that are unique to WebStorm are really important for you, then maybe it is worth the $10 a month. But if you're not even going to use those extra features, or if there are like plugins for VS Code or something that can do the same thing, then just go with VS Code. It's free and it's really good. All right, Blake says, just sent you a DM in Slack. Okay, cool. I'll try to remember to check that out. I have all my Slack windows closed for the stream because I'm trying to run as little as possible in the background. Hey, Noble and Savage is here. What's up? Let's see. Eddie says, I've done testing with Jasmine or Enzyme and Jest React specific. Uh, yeah, what is it? Jest, I think Jest is React specific. If I'm correct, Jest was developed by Facebook for testing React. Enzyme, I don't think Enzyme is React specific though, and Enzyme can be used with other things besides Jest. So I'm pretty new to testing those, so I may be wrong about Enzyme. I'm like 99% sure I'm right about Jest though. If you can hear that noise, that's my kids running around. Right above me is or the room. So the two girls have one room and the two boys have another room. So the boys' room is right above me. So evidently they're jumping or something like that. Oh, John asked if I did the React update yet. Says I doubt it would break anything much. No, I didn't do the update yet. I wanted to check. I need to check next and see because I don't think it would break much either. But the big thing is, does this version of Next work with that, or do I need to wait for whatever Next is going to do? And I haven't even checked on it. It may already work. I haven't checked it. And then Material UI came out with a new update as well. So I need to upgrade those two things. I totally forgot about both upgrades though until you just said that. So maybe that's what we'll do tomorrow for the stream. I'm interested in your opinion though. I've started doing like upgrade streams where when kind of a more popular thing that we're using comes out with an upgrade, I upgrade it on the stream and we work through any issues together. Let me know if that's useful to you all. I imagine, especially if you're using those and you haven't upgraded yet, that could help you avoid some problems. But for a lot of you, if you don't even use those, I don't. Maybe it's not that useful. Let me know if you like it or if you don't like it, because I mean, obviously, we're always gonna have updates that need done. So I don't have to do it on the stream. But if it has value to you, I definitely will keep doing it. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna go back to it. I do have some comments that have to do with what we were just doing, though. Michael says, "Did you leave out a colon or equal after submenu?" Yeah, let me see. Oops, let me restart this timer. We're gonna do at least one more Pomodoro session, and trying to think. I have an appointment at 5 that I need to get ready for, so Yeah, it's about 3 o'clock my time. So if we do another Pomodoro session and then a little question and answer session, that should give me enough time to get ready. So all right, so let me check this out. I see James and Phoenix and Aditya. I see your questions that just came in there. I'll get to those after this next session. So if you could just be patient for about 25 more minutes, I'll definitely answer those questions. But let's see what I did here. Draw a test. Okay, so I just messed some stuff up, and I'm not sure why. So let's see what I did. Submenu items equal. Yeah, this is weird. Okay, drawer item. Submenu items. Submenu items. String. Why is this? No, it's not supposed to be a boolean. I mean that maybe that's part of the problem. It's expecting a boolean value. No, let's see. Yeah, no, this is definitely supposed to be an array. All right, let's see if we can. I don't know if we can do this or not, but let's see if we can do this where we make a const and this is test array. Let's say test items equals, and then now let's put in all of this. Okay, and then now let's see if we can just pass in test items. Oops. And let's see if we can do this. Get this to work now. All right. Expected. What did it expect now? All right. Let's put in our $sign and see. It still expected that. What am I doing wrong? Okay. I'm just gonna let this go for now and see if this is just something weird that it's giving me. And that it'll still work. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So the last thing I want to do is I don't know. Let's just take this out for now because I just want to test it. Let's see what we get. I'm gonna pull this up so we can see more of it. All right, cool. We got it. One failure. All right, failed to run. JSX value should be either an expression or quoted JSX text. Hmm. Oops, let me get rid of this too, though, because this shouldn't. Oh no, no, this is correct. Let's see. This is. It's still not gonna work. All right, let me go back to the docs then, because this is definitely not. It's got to be possible to pass in something other than just a string. All right, let me see. What the heck? There we go. Wait a second. Was I just losing my mind? I think I was, because that's JSX. So I have to put stuff like. Never mind. For everybody that put back the curly bracket. Oh yeah, Michael, you're entirely correct. So for anybody watching this that's been saying, "Wow, this guy has no clue what he's doing for the last 10 minutes or more," I apologize. The solution to that was just so obvious. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, let's run this. I'm pretty sure this will work now. And then if this does work, the last thing we'll do is use an on click. Uh, did it fail again? Whoa, two failed. What is this? Okay, drawer item. Oops, it looks like. Okay. So it does. It looks like submenu items are. You have to have them. Well, that's actually not great behavior there, right? Let me think. I mean, as the component's used right now, there's never a time when you don't have any submenu items, but this component could be a lot more versatile if it was able to either just be a standalone item or have sub items below it. So maybe let's take the first step in making this component more useful in different situations. And so let's say this list, this whole collapse. Yeah, this whole collapse component here is going to it's going to render conditionally based on if submenu item exists. So we're going to say submenu items. If submenu items, um, yeah, we We just need to check if it exists, right? Yeah. And then maybe... yeah, we could check... All right, let's just check first to see if it exists and see if that's enough. Where's our class? Okay. Just going to add that bracket in here and take it out of here. Okay. So now we're going to save that, and let's run this again and see if we get those same errors. So what should happen is we should not get those errors anymore because it's not going to try to map through something that doesn't exist. It won't even try to render any of that. Which, I mean, that's better, right? Even, you know, on the off chance that this gets used without a submenu item, then at least it won't cause an error, right? Our users wouldn't see an error. You know, they may see something that looks like you can click it, but when you do, nothing really happens, which is better than getting an error because they may not ever even try to click it. All right, let's see what happened. What failed? Draw item. What is this? Storage snapshot. Should render a title when passed in. Okay, so let's see what failed here. Doesn't match the snapshot. Oh, okay, because it already expected that. All right, let's go ahead and do this draw item test. Let's delete it. Yeah, and let's run it again. Nope, that's not what I wanted. No. Okay, hold on. Do we have that still? You gotta be kidding me. I just deleted the wrong thing. All right. Let's see if I can undo it. Undo. Undo. No, I can't. Oh, okay. Wow. Let's see. Can't go back. No, you can get it back by clicking on the get fork icon. Draw item, test snapshot. Draw item. Nah, it doesn't even have it in there. Where you have the blue 6. All right. Okay, this one was a track by get. It should have been. All right. I can't believe I deleted the wrong file. What I was trying to do was to delete the snapshot so we would generate a new one because I think some of the old stuff that was generated was messing it up. Okay. Let's see if there's any way I can change this. I highly doubt that this was... if you delete something in Visual Studio Code, I don't think that it goes into like the trash folder, but I guess it's worth a shot. Did just search for it, so it would have been. Let's see. All right. Well, yeah. Let's just do this again. I'm gonna make a new one, and then I'm not gonna do all the other stuff that we just did at first. What I'll do is just do the click handler one. Okay. All right. So let's take out most of this. Let's take this out too, because I'm going to copy in some stuff. Text section. And we'll do drawer item. Okay. All right, now let me copy over something from the Airbnb Enzyme Git repo. All right, so let's see what we can do here. Oh, what did I do? Oh, okay, it's just the lines. All right, so what I pasted in is it simulates click events. So on button click, let's see, I need to bring in. This is using. Actually, that's using a different. Let's look at the Jest one. Okay. All right. Let's see. Maybe it'll work. Sorry, what's confusing me here is that we're importing this, and I'm not sure what it is. So it doesn't say. Yeah, it doesn't say to actually bring this in. So I'm just gonna try to import it and see if we actually have it somewhere with, if it was brought in with Enzyme. And let's say, all right, so what do we have? Button click. All right, let's simulate. All right, there's two different examples for how to do this. I'm trying to figure out which one would be the better one. I think we can. Let me try this one. It seems like it's a little bit more simple, but we're also going to have to bring in shallow as well. Check my time. Ooh, only 2 minutes. Okay, to bring in shallow, we want the spy. We don't want this to be food. We want it to be drawer item. Drawer item on button click. Simulate the click. So we want to find. Where is this click? Expand item. All right, let's see. We're not going to call it on button click though. We're going to call it expand item. Actually, no, that's not. Shoot, this is giving me trouble. Let's check out the API documentation. So I'm gonna paste in the full API documentation for it's gonna be mounts. Let's see. Maybe I won't paste it. I'm not sure that this is going to even be helpful. right. Button. We don't want to find button. What does this render to? I guess we can go back and we could do it the other way. Now that I've seen both ways, I think it doesn't really matter. So we'll just keep it a little more simple here. There we go. We still want this to be drawer item. Drawer item. On button click. Sentence. So is this going to be... This will be expand item. And it's going to run that spy, I guess. And expect on button click to have property call count 1. It's not what we want. Simulate the click, and we're going to expect we're really going to expect expand more to be present, right? Let's see. Let's expect see if we can do this. Is I'm getting this from a tutorial, so let's see. Put state dot is open to equal true. Now what's this? Output is not defined. Const output equals shell. Oh, they're using the shell thing. Wrapper. There we go. All right. Let me run this, see if anything happens, and then that'll be all we do. All right. I don't expect this to work. I'm mixing things from tutorials, and I'm not sure if they're using the same versions. Oh, definitely failed. Okay. All right. So this thing definitely failed. The spy. All right. Okay. All right, so my timer went off a while ago, so I do want to get back and answer questions because I've already gone over this time. But basically, just to give you an idea of, I don't know if I'll do another show for testing or not. So what I'm obviously what I'm trying to do is see like what happens if you click the button in this component. Does it actually do what it's supposed to do? And right now, I don't really know if this is going to work, right? Because I guess I'll have to get this package and test it out. So I don't know. Maybe this would work like this. Maybe it wouldn't. But that's the basic idea. This is you should be able to do this with Enzyme and Jest to be able to test things. And right here, what I'm checking for is to see if the state actually changes to what it should when this is clicked on. I guess, yeah, that would probably be the thing to test. And then, another test could be like if the state is open is true, then is everything displayed properly? So that could potentially, yeah, that could potentially be another test. So I don't know that my first idea was to say like if it's clicked, then is all this stuff displayed? But I think that's skipping a step in between. I think it would probably be better to test to see that the state changes first, and then in another test see like, okay, if the state is that, then what happens? And then it's broken down a little bit more. It would be easier to pinpoint exactly where the issue is. Is it changing the state that's the issue, or is it rendering based on a state that's the issue? Okay, hopefully that makes some sense. Sorry I couldn't get it figured out. Um, let me scroll up a bit and answer some questions. Actually, you know what? I am going to. You know what? I don't want to. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna comment this out for now, so that way it will be there when I go to submit this, but it won't cause the test to fail. So if anyone wants to check it out, I'm gonna push this to the repo now, so I don't forget. It's probably right after this. I'm gonna quit and start getting ready for my appointment. So it's likely I would forget to push this. So I'm gonna do it while we're still here. While that's working, I'm gonna try to answer some questions. Okay, so I left off right here with James. James Scott says, as a front end dev, did I still fail? Oh yeah, because I was trying to import this. So James's question was, as a front end dev, do you do any back end coding on personal projects? I'm having a hard time balancing both, considering I want to be a front end dev. I actually do back end coding on work projects. So my title is front end dev, but I kind of have to do. I have to do both, right? Okay, so we found some obsolete snapshots. Let's get rid of those. Oh, that's the command I was forgetting to run. I just kept deleting snapshots. There we go. All right, so yeah, I end up doing back end stuff. Really, balance. I don't have a problem with the balance of it. I do what I have to do, right? So um, whatever needs to get done for the project to get done, that's what I do. Thankfully, I've had a lot of help from you all on the projects for the back end stuff. But sorry, yeah, it doesn't like occur to me like whether I'm doing front end or back end or how much. So I guess you just you kind of do what you have to do. Phoenix says, "What stack would you recommend to become a full stack dev?" Um, if you're already good with JavaScript, then you may as well just go full stack JavaScript. And I mean, if you like React, you can, what do they call it? Mern stack. Yeah, is it Mongo, Express, React, Node? Is that what it is? I think that's it. Um, yeah, but I mean, I would go with some sort of full stack JavaScript. If you happen to know a different backend language, then maybe go with that. That would be your easiest route. But I mean, if you were starting fresh, I would still say go with the full stack JavaScript. A lot of people are using it. You can do pretty much anything you want with it, and you only have to learn one language. All right, we're going to do a get status just to see all the stuff that's changed. This looks good. Let's do get add. And now everything's staged since we did a get add. Now we're going to do yarn cm. Can you all hear my kids? They're upstairs. Wow. It's still pretty loud. All right, let's see. Okay, so we're going to do yarn cm. This is going to help us do a commit message, and we were doing test. I thought we had, there we are, test. So let's say add test for text section and drawer item. Didn't break anything. I don't think we have an issue for that. Okay, so that's going to do its thing. Hopefully everything will pass. Aditya asks, I am new here. What is Enzyme and Jest? Enzyme and Jest are NPM packages to help you test, in this case, React. So Jest is built by Facebook. It's built by Facebook to help test React. Enzyme is built by Airbnb, and it can help you test not only React, but I think other things as well. You don't have to use them together, but we are using these together right now. You can use Enzyme with other things as well. So Enzyme makes it easier to test. So Facebook does recommend using Enzyme just because it makes it a lot easier. Uh, Bargav says, is this Android Studio? Can anybody tell me? Not Android Studio. It's Visual Studio Code. Oh, okay, cool. And Phoenix was offering some answers there to a few questions as well. Thank you, Phoenix. Okay. Aditya asks, what is React? Phoenix offers an answer. It's a JavaScript library used for building UI components and is maintained by Facebook. For more, you can Google React and you'll get all the details you need. Yeah, Facebook has a really good documentation, tutorial, and explanation of React. It should be one of the first results that comes up. I'd try type in like React.js. Since React's such a common word, it may not immediately come up with, Facebook's React. All right, so it looked like everything passed, which is awesome. So you could see we ran our unit tests automatically, and now we have, let's see, another test here that we didn't before, and that's our drawer item test. And let's do get origin. Oh, I restarted, so I have to enter my key here. So let's do that. I gotta get my key first from LastPass. All right. There we are. Okay, now the code will be there. And I'm going to run SSH add so I don't have to put that back in. There we are. Yeah, so now everything that we did today is now updated on the GitHub repo. The link is in the description. Feel free to check it out, use it on your own projects, contribute to this project, whatever you'd like to do with it. And definitely feel free to point out or correct my mistakes. Definitely always open for input and criticism. Let's see. Michael says, I've been playing around with GraphQL and can pull data from your database, but I can't figure out how to build a schema on the client side to make it less edges and nodes all the way down. Any ideas? I don't know. I haven't really even thought about that. I don't have any ideas right now. I haven't really thought about it. I don't know. If I get an idea before I end the stream, I'll let you know. But that hadn't even occurred to me to do that. I think if that's possible, that's a good idea. Michael says, this is why I don't do tests. I just write some stuff, log the results, and if it doesn't work, start all over again. And Michael says, that's probably why I'm unemployed. Yeah, I mean, tests seem to be a pain. I think tests will probably be something that once I get used to writing them and get good at them, it will improve my coding. It'll be a good skill to have. But it's just going to take practice for me to get to that point. So I'm going to have to force myself to do it. It's going to be probably similar to when I first started using Git, and it seemed like, why can't I just code? Why do I have to keep doing these commits all the time? But now I'm so used to committing, it's not really a big deal. It's like second nature, and I see the value in doing it. I think testing is probably similar to that. So I'm going to try my best to stick with it and not be tempted to just skip it when I'm trying to go faster. I think in the long run, it'll probably, if I can do it right and really learn how to do testing well, I think in the long run it will end up saving time. Darshan asks, what's the difference between full stack JavaScript versus MERN stack? Darshan says, assuming the same thing, right? Yeah, so the MERN stack is a type of stack that happens to be full stack JavaScript. So you could also do, what is it, the mean stack, which would be Mongo Express, Angular, Node. And that would also be full stack JavaScript. And if you didn't want to use React, you could probably use Vue, which I've never heard anybody say it, but what would that be? Like the Mevn stack? MEVN. If you wanted to use Preact, the Meppen stack. These aren't real. I've never seen anybody use this last two. But yeah, so MERN stack is full stack JavaScript, but there are other things you could use and still be full stack JavaScript. All right, Michael said, okay, I'll work on the GraphQL schema. Just didn't want to do extra work if you've already done it. Yeah, and actually, Michael, at one point we had the idea, and we've kind of put it to the side basically just for time purposes, and I kind of think that's something we could do later, but we had the idea to do a GraphQL server where we could pull in data from different parts and then make our own schema to send into React. So we wouldn't be pulling things, let's say, like directly from WordPress into React. There would be like an in-between server. Then we could make the schema whatever we wanted. I still would like to do that. It just is going to take, I think it's going to take more learning on my part to be able to make that happen. So I don't want to rush it and mess it up. All right, Blake said, "Sorry I wasn't listening last 15 minutes. Did you see my comment about Slack?" I did see it, and I already forgot about it, so thanks for bringing it up again. I'll try to remember to log into that the Slack channel and check it out. Gilchard says, "Please react to I'm on the receipt by Milo's Gangster." I'm not Glitchered. I'm not really sure what you're talking about. Could you explain it a little bit? I think I'm missing something. Um. Oh, okay, Michael says that's exactly what I was talking about. Okay, cool. Um. Yeah, so I think it would be very useful to have kind of that in between server. It'll just be kind of another layer of abstraction so that at any point we could change where our data is coming from, and it won't at all, like we won't have to really change anything on the React side of things. We would just probably change things in that kind of in between server, that GraphQL server. So I could see some advantages to it. Like potentially it could be faster. It could be another place to do caching. Um, oh, cool. Michael says, "Let me do that. I'm so much better with the back end stuff I'm on." Awesome. Hey, that's really great. Yeah, yeah. If you can do that, that would be so cool. Um, let's see. Oh, okay. Glitchard said it's a hilarious song called "I'm on der Reise." Is it supposed to be like German for rise? The rise? I don't know. Phoenix says, "Don't mind. That's a troll song. Nothing to do with what we're doing here." Oh, okay. Uh, thanks, thanks, Phoenix. So, um, all right, cool. So I've gotten to the bottom of the chat here. So we got through. I think I got through all the questions. If I missed your question, very sorry about that. Ask me again on another stream, or send me a DM on some social media network. And yeah, so that's it for today. I think I should be able to stream tomorrow. And thank you all for all your help. Thank you for your patience as we kind of like just slowly learned more about testing. Um, I think we got close with the click thing. So hopefully, I can work on that more and maybe show you a solution tomorrow. Let's see. Trying to find the stop streaming button. Yeah, so probably be back tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure what time. I'm thinking maybe afternoon in the Eastern time. So maybe like 1 or 2 or something like that. Until then, thanks again for watching and have a great day.